What is going on, people? We are getting back into our Pokemon battle scene builder generator thing built on Vite.js and Vue.js and some other fun stuff. A lot of browser primitives, hopefully. So where did we leave off? Site can't be reached. That's where we left off. Let's see. Localhost 3000. It's because I'm on the wrong port. There we go. Here comes our application. There we are. So this is where we left off yesterday. We have an app where we're designing this sort of area, and we're like trying to design the banner for this thing. So I think what I want to do, what do I want to do? Well, I just want to build some stuff. So let's see. I know what I'm going to do. Where we left off, we have this file. I might get rid of these. Might be helpful, actually. That one's good. This one's pretty cool. This one's definitely pretty cool, but it's not. It's like not. What am I saying? These are not PNGs. Like I'd have to cut out that stuff too. Oh, there's this one. This one has even more work. So I think, yeah, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to get rid of this one because that would be a lot of work to get rid of everything. This one's going to be helpful. This one is also going to be cool. Depends which one we want to do. And then do I have like, I do have some background color things. So I have them here too. Great. Okay, I'm going to delete this one because this one I don't want. That was that was an effective use of my time. Cool. What we want to get into today is I want to put the actual background on this scene. So let's see what we can do here. Let's go to edit.photo. Let's pull that out of there. There shouldn't be anything. Yeah. I'm going to bring this guy over. So now I've got all my things. Let's see. We've got different terrains. So mountain, ocean, day, afternoon, night. Mountain, day, afternoon, night. We've got, what's that? Forest, caves, snowy, and then indoor. Okay, I'm just going to copy this one because this one looks like the most common. Let's get way up in there. And then let's bring this cropping tool down there. And can I not crop? Oh, I'm too far down. Okay, zoom back out. Put this where we want it. Cool, bring this guy down. Just not enough. Okay, that looks good. Oh, that's annoying. Just got off. Okay, that is good. This guy is almost there. Good enough. Okay, let's export that. Download a copy of, I don't need that as a PNG actually. Let's download that as a JPEG. Let's go to tinypng.com. We'll drag that in there. And then we'll download this background. And we're going to call this we're going to call this background ground day, maybe grass day. That should be a, isn't that supposed to be a JPEG? I guess it's a PNG. Okay, that's fine. Background grass day dot PNG. Cool. I can get rid of that. I can go back to my V app. I can take that and let's see. Go to my code, go to, where are we? Boop, 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 into my streams folder, into my battle banners folder, into my public folder, images, and paste it there. Cool. All right, in my code, I should have in my public folder the file that I want. There it is. It's looking good. Let's see. Battle Bannerz official app name. Hell yeah, it is. You know it is. I don't know, unless someone wanted unless someone had a better name, but that's what I got so far, and I had to pick something to put in the GitHub repo, so that's where we are. That way I can share it, but I'm happy to change it anytime. Okay, so now we've got this image. I need to go to my actual components. Oh, another thing I need to do before I get this going actually is npm install utensils at the latest, because I pushed up the changes that we fixed yesterday. I pushed them up. So now it should work in, where is it? My preview? No, my app. I should be able to pull these from utensils. Okay, and comment those out or get rid of those, hit save, refresh my app. I should not see the console errors that I had the other day. I do see the console warnings because that's still a problem I need to solve, but we should have this form now using utensils, which is great. Very happy about that because utensils has some really cool features in it. So is it full screen for privacy? Oh, no, it's full screen because I did not start sharing my screen. My bad. Thanks for calling that out. There we go. There's my application. You guys, where would I be without you? Looking like a dummy. I mean, I look like a dummy with you anyway, but that's all right. Okay, so we've got our application. We've got the background that I made. Both beautiful. Cotin, are you flirting with me right now? I mean, yeah, mustache has been looking pretty good lately, so, you know. So I made an edit to this file, or like copied this file. So what we are going to get today is the actual background on there, and then we'll see where we go from there. So we've got that. This is all going to look very much the same. I've got my fixes coming from utensils now, which is great. No errors in the console. We do have some warnings because that's like a Vue 3 thing that I don't fully understand yet enough. Like I know what's going on. It's complaining that it's getting a ref instead of an actual number, which is coming from here. I'm using like size is data.toRefs and data is reactive. Maybe I should just use data. What if I do that instead of width and height? Let's try. Oh, dang. I know what the problem was. Why it wasn't being reactive. Yeah, it's because I'm binding the value. So I'm getting the actual value there. Nope, that's just not true. Okay, no, that's weird because the value is coming in here. I'm no longer seeing those errors in the console, but I'm not getting the canvas width and height. So something's right and something's wrong there. Let's go to app preview. App preview should receive a width and a height. And then let's just see what we've got here. Oh, because we have dot value now. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And that may be it. Yep, okay. That was the problem. We've got the width and height going incorrectly now. I don't know what the issue was there. So I don't need this 2 refs. At least not today. Maybe eventually. But we'll have some data with like reactive properties, which means when we update them, they will change. The reason why now here, if I don't actually update these, which we're not seeing, let me change the height, right? If I change this, we're not seeing the canvas update. And that is because I'm not actually adding any event listener to my inputs. Like the event triggers for a change event, but I'm not updating data.width. So I can do that with something like at input equals, and then some events, and then have a function that says data.width equals event.target.value. Oh, whoops, that should be e.target.value, right? So now the width one should update. If I change this, we do see the canvas size changing, so that's great. Vue has a convention method for this, where instead of binding to the value and having an event listener, I think I should be able to just do vModel equals data.width. So under the hood, it's doing the same thing. But for convenience, we've got that available. So now that does not seem to be true. Or it is kind of true. Okay, so vModel is working, but it's not being instantiated with my... Oh! My width here and my height here are not coming through like they were. So that's a problem I need to check out. So let's see... vModel. That's going to get me like a whole bunch of stuff I don't need. Let's go... No, I'll just go to the web docs. Vue.js.org. And let's look up vModel built-in directives. Or I saw something else there. vModel components in depth, essentials. Let's see, reactive. Do we have reactive and vModel? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so built-in directives. Let me see if there's something in here for reactive. No. Expects varies based on value of form input elements or outputs of the components. Okay, that's interesting and annoying. Interesting and annoying. Why is that not coming through as 600? If I were to write that onto the page, will I see that? Okay, so I do see the width. Well, I guess in this case, I'm just going to leave it how it was working. Because this actually makes sense. So I think the other thing I want to do here is this is fine. I'm going to take this event and copy that onto my height input. Now we are seeing that the value is coming in. Man, that is so annoying. What if I do this? Like vModel equals data.width and height, and then I'll get rid of the rest. And I just bind the data. So that might be like a little bit cheating. Seems to be working. It's a little bit simpler, right? Really annoying that my value doesn't work though. Yeah, that's really weird. Wonder if that's a me thing or a Vue thing. Anyway, it's fixed. That works. That's working. Now we have to deal with the app preview not really working. That's because props are no longer receiving a ref, so they should not have a value property. It should just be the width and height. There we go. We see our little things coming in there. We can change the height. Boop, 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 boop. It repaints. We can see that repaint happening every time. And next thing I want to do is that other image. So foreground, background. It's not actually a background. It's like, I guess it would be like foreground 1 and foreground 2 or midground. That's what I want. Instead of background, I'm going to call all of this midground. So that will be the little platform that the enemy is sitting on. That means we have to change background to midground. And then we have the true background of the grass. So we're going to do one more image here. And we're going to say that the foreground here is going to be the background. That's going to come from background. Let's see, grass day, I think is what I called it. Onload is going to be that. Offset X, offset Y. We don't need that. But what we do need is the width and height of this image. I think we want this to basically match the canvas size. So it will stretch and grow with the canvas, and it might warp a little, but it will completely cover the canvas area. So the way we do that is instead of that being on the onload event and positioning the image, we're going to position the image always at the 0, 0 offsets. So 0, 0. That's our background image. At this point, it should be loading. Yep, cool. And then we want this to, the image width and height to match the props width and height. So let me see if I can do background dot width equals props dot width. And we'll do the same with the height. And doesn't look like that worked. Okay. So this is one of the annoying things about working with Canvas is everything is within a black box. So let me see, draw image. Oh, this might be it. In the draw image, I should have other properties that I can use. So distance X, or what is that? DX. Top left corner, subrectangle, S width, S height. These are weird. The distance along the X axis. Okay, D width and D height. So that's what I want is, whoa, there's a lot of stuff there. So X and Y, and then props.width and props.height. That ought to do it. There you go. Oh my gosh. How cool is this? How cool is this? This is so cool. And I can go like, you know what? This actually should be 150. That's pretty cool. Actually, this should be 100. Oh, this is great. This is great. Now there's one little janky thing that's going on here is every time I like up or down, you can see that it's painting, which is kind of annoying. So how can I fix this? I mean, on one hand, I want it to be responsive. Like it's nice to grow it. You can kind of watch it grow. I don't really love that flashing. But I know what I'm going to do. So with timing events like this, there's basically two approaches you can take. This event is firing like several times. I mean, several hundreds of times per second, probably. So within the milliseconds. And because it's going so quickly, there's two patterns that we could follow to sort of prevent it from firing so quickly. One is a throttle, and one is a what's the other one called? Throttle and something else. I forget. But we have access to those from a library. So let me see. Okay, let me see. We've got throttle. So what I like to do, Lodash is an excellent utility library that has all of these tools available for us to be able to use. I am not going to download Lodash because it's just an extra dependency for something that probably is not going to change. And I can just like copy and like, look at this. Okay, no, never mind. Require. Okay. Debounce. Debounce was the other option. We have throttle or debounce. And if you're not familiar with those, I would recommend you look into it because it's a good pattern to use. But essentially, let's say we have 1,000 events that we're going to kick off every second. So one every millisecond, right? There's no need, like humans can't keep up with something happening every millisecond. If we were building an app for a hummingbird, that might work. But for humans, we can get away with doing something every like, I think 60 frames per second is every 16 milliseconds or something like that. And we don't even need to keep 60 frames per second for something to look smooth. But what we can do is if we have all of these events firing, if we run a function in response to all of these events, it's going to cause the browser to slow down. Lodash, what is Lodash? Lodash is a suite of utility functionality, so functions that have been pre-written. So Lodash is a collection of, in this collection, it has both of these sort of utility functions I'm talking about. One of the options to slow down how often something happens is a debounce. I use debounces all the time because think about when someone is typing, like if someone wants to type a search string into an input, and then that input is like going to a backend to come back with like search results or something, you probably don't want to hit your backend every time a key is typed, especially if they're typing really quickly, right? You can just wait until they're done typing, see if there's like a certain amount of break. Like after a long enough break, you can assume that they're done typing, and then wait until either, you know, they hit the next key or that that timeout has surpassed. At which point, then you can go ahead and hit that search functionality. That's a debounce. You're basically saying, hey, here's a function I want to run, and here's the milliseconds I want to debounce it for. And if this event fires, if you keep trying to fire this function in less time than that timeout, don't fire the function. But if enough time passes that surpasses that timeout, then go ahead and fire that function. That's one option. The other option is a throttle. And what a throttle will do is if we're once again trying to fire those 1,000 events in 1 second, we can say, hey, I want you to fire this function, but I want you to only fire it maximum once every 300 milliseconds, right? So then the first event, let's say we're doing 1,000 events in 1 second. If we're spacing those out across 300 milliseconds, then we should only see that event fire 3 times, right? It'll fire after the first time the event is triggered, and then wait 300 milliseconds, and then it'll fire again. And as long as it's still receiving triggers that it should be firing, it'll wait 300 milliseconds, it'll fire again, it'll wait 300 milliseconds, fire again, wait 300 milliseconds, fire again, and then if the event stopped firing after a second, cool, we're done. So that's what I'm going to go with, is a throttle. Lodash is great, but this is not exactly what I want. Okay, I know what I want. There's a library called just Throttle, I think. There you go. Cool. I'm going to go to GitHub. So GitHub, this GitHub repository, there's like a whole bunch of these sort of packages or packages in here that this person has built and published and has 0 dependencies, and they're all like self-contained. So you can totally just install these from NPM. If you go here and you go to NPM, where is it? Jump to the API. Do they have a website? Yeah, there you go. You can go to anguscroll.com/just, and you can see all of the different utility functions that he provides. Assuming it's a he, Angus. I've never met a girl Angus, but all of the functions that this person provides, they're all available individually on NPM. But for things like this that I know I can just like write it once and never have to really come back to it, I like to go to the source code and just copy it. That way I have fewer dependencies, less maintenance to worry about. So I want to look for a throttle. There you go. There's one called function throttle. In the index.js file, this is the extent of the throttle function. I'm going to copy this and bring that over to my project. And we'll put that in a folder, I think, called utils. So utils/throttle.js. We'll paste that in there. I think we may have to convert a little bit of this. So function throttle, looks like it does all that. I don't need you. I'm going to export default. It's a function called throttle. Takes all this stuff. I won't mess around with the source code too much, but I do need this to be a ES module, not common.js, which is how it was written before. And then in my utils folder, I'm going to add another file called index.js, where we will export default as throttle from throttle. The reason I'm doing things this way is because I'm sure that I will have more utilities in here at some point. So by doing it this way, I can import all from a single file with the names that they have. So let's get that. Do I prefer tea or coffee? I don't like either too much, but I definitely prefer tea over coffee. I never got over how gross and bitter coffee is. So if I'm going to drink coffee, well, I'm probably not going to drink coffee, but if I was ever going to drink coffee, it'd have to have like a lot of cream and sugar. That said, coffee flavored candy and coffee flavored ice cream, mwah, delicious. Love it. So let's see. We've got our utils. I want to do a throttle. Okay. So inside of my app preview, yes, where I'm running this paint canvas function. This paint canvas function is actually going to be modified. So I've got my components, and then I'm going to import something from // what is it? Utils should be in there. Utils index.js. No, I think I should have that. Yeah, okay. And I should see throttle. There you go. So throttle now, what throttle does is it takes a function and returns a new version of modified version of that function. So the function that we want, we actually already have written. It's this sort of paint canvas function, right? So what we can do is we can say, hey, this paint canvas function is actually going to be a throttled version of that function. And throttle should accept a second parameter, which is like, let's say we'll throttle this every 1 second so we can actually see what's going on, assuming this works as I intended. If we go back to our app and I change stuff now, I can see, you see how every second it paints and we see that flash. Oh, but it didn't actually paint that last one. Yeah, because it's, so I want to ensure that it runs the last time. So let's see. I need to see here. Let's go to the documentation. Let's look for throttle. Oops. There it is, just throttle. And what is this letting? npm install console log every interval. Yeah, that's our function. I don't know what this letting is, but I definitely want it to run regardless at the end. So maybe that's the solution. I could probably just look at the source code and see what is. Oh, look at that. There's trailing too. Trailing. So if letting force, because there should be invocation per call. Okay. Is it letting or leading? Call now. Okay, so I think what I want is this trailing thing, which, yeah, it looks like that would call if we have trailing turned on. So let's enable trailing. And now if I change my stuff, that didn't work. I want that to go up. It did not work. Okay. So what if it's leading? I think it's leading, not letting. So if we turn on the leading parameter and we let go, still not going to work. That's unfortunate. I'm sure that there's a solution there. Essentially, we want to throttle it. Well, anyway, I don't want to throttle it that often. So let's say throttle for 100 milliseconds. That's disappointing. I'll have to debug that in soon. So now if that's not really much better, right? Because we still get that flashing. That's kind of annoying. And we get a crappy experience. Okay, I'm going to disable this throttling. We'll come back and do that later. So I'm going to go up here and say to do maybe throttle this. Yeah, we'll leave that as it was. Burp, burp, burp. Now we've got our canvas painting function. And if we go very small or very large, yeah, I can see how much slower this is though. Even though it's like flashing like that, man, that's going to give someone a freaking seizure too. I'll have to figure that out at some point. What I'm thinking at this point too is we're using Canvas to generate these things. And I'm wondering, the other alternative that I could have gone is build it all out with HTML. Let's see. We can do like an HTML to image library, like generates an image from a DOM node using HTML5 canvas and SVG. That's like literally exactly what I want. I may want to do this. I'm really tempted to grab this, but I feel like we're making some progress too. Let's do it. Let's see. npm install HTML to image. Oops. Let's run our application one more time. Turn the music up because I'm getting into it. And then ES6, that's what we're going to want. Put that down here, which we don't need it yet. But what I want to do is potentially change this from this sort of canvas approach to a different approach. So let's try this. That's good. Canvas is going to come out of the way. We're going to put a div there and say that your width and height is going to be the same thing. And then inside of this, we're going to say, let's see, style equals background. Gosh, I always do that. Background of the same background that we had here. That's going to be something that remains the same. And then here I'm going to have class. Let's see, the width and height will be covered. The background will match. And then I'm just going to do the styles inline just so that I have it to go quickly. I'm going to do background size of cover. So let's see where we are. Oh, background should be URL. Duh. There we go. That's why. Oops. Okay, that's my CSS chops. What have we got so far? We have no div with no preview. That's because I'm giving a width and a height to it. Okay, width and height should actually come into the style props. Let's fix this up. Okay, let's see. This now needs to be a bound property. We're going to say style equals, sure, we'll use the object syntax. So width is props.width, comma, height is props.height, comma, background is the URL, and background size is going to be cover. And I think we closed that, and I think I got that right. So no, I did not quite. Data, style, background, URL, and then I've got 0%, 0%, which is correct for the background. Width and height is not correct though. Width, height, background size. That should be my style prop. I've got not all my styles in place, so width and height are not working. Say width and height is 100. You know, give me something there? No. Well, that's because that's not actual value. Oh, duh. Well, that's because it's not an actual value. Yeah, props should be string interpolation, pixels, and that ought to fix it for us. There we go. Cool. We've got our background image. Now let's see what I want to do. I can put my little images on there. So yeah, let's start with that. We're going to do image source of the midground first. And then we'll get these offsets. So I'm going to give this thing a class because I think that's going to be helpful. Class equals, I don't know, sure, battle scene, right? Here we're going to have the battle scene. Background size is always going to be cover, so background size of cover, which means we can get rid of it here. I think this background image is always going to change, so let's set that to background image. And then my battle scene is going to be position relative. Relative. Okay. And then my battle scene image is going to be position absolute. So that should cover this image. In here, in my battle scene, I should have this image z-index1. Okay. It's definitely there somewhere. Inset 0? Width 100? No. Why is this image not coming up on the page? What if it wasn't position absolute? Oh, display none. Okay, that's the problem. Why do I have image display none? That's weird. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. Cool. Got my little image in there. And that image, I need a couple of them. Got my midground, and then I've got my foreground. Cool. And then we'll have some classes here. So class equals, and we'll copy the midground and the foreground. Cool. The foreground is always going to be bottom 0. There it is. The midground is going to always be like off to the right. Background is going to be right, something like 1 rem. Cool. And top is going to be 48 pixels, which is something like 3 rem. Okay, there's my battle scene. The cool thing about this is I can grow this as much as I want, and it will not do that flashy thing. This should be background size of cover, which means, yep, okay, it grows. Cool, to always fit. That's perfect. This is great. This is working. Now, next things next. What I want is, I feel like top should probably be like 50%. So there you go. You're kind of always battling it. And it just kind of comes along with you. That's pretty good. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now what I wanted to do was see if I can generate a picture from this using this library. So let's go app.view. We're going to get this preview thing. And I think I'm just going to do it in here so that I have the functionality there. There's my user avatar. We're going to have something like a button that says generate banner. And we're going to say import to JPEG, PNG. I think we'll do to JPEG. So let's see this library. To JPEG. Document get element by ID. Quality is that. This is freaking sweet. If it just has it available for me. So we're going to say button at click is going to be generate image. And then we'll have a function down here called generate image, which is going to basically copy what they gave us. We have to JPEG already. Document get element by ID. I don't want that. I want this to be, man, this is looking ugly here though. Let's put that onto its own line. Let's move that out. Let's move this down. And then we'll move the class down like that so we can see it a little bit nicer. And then this is going to have a ref. The ref is going to be L, so we can just reuse that ref that we had earlier on the canvas. I think this is a much better approach. Like I liked the canvas approach, but I think it's just not quite right for what I need. Okay, so with the L, that should give me the actual element. And then let's just confirm that. Generate ID. Let's console log my element, not value, just my element. Look at our code. I should have a generate button right there. And if I click that, it looks like we're getting a ref. But I want, okay, the value. So I do want the value. The value is the actual DOM node. So we'll do this. Do element. The actual DOM node should be L.value. Quality, sure. And function, we have the data URL. We're going to create a link element. We're going to give it a download attribute. We're going to click on it. So the only thing here now, this is going to be a fun little accessibility thing, but if this works, I should download an image. It didn't work because, of course, it didn't work. It's not of type element. Okay. Console log l.value. Clear this out. Generate that. Oh, I get undefined. Okay. I guess it should just be the actual element. Ref any is not assignable to HTML element. Well, you know what? Easy enough. We'll give this. Just gonna grab that and say document. No, I should do this the Vue way. Okay, let's look at refs. Refs, template refs, accessing the refs. Okay, this dot refs, yes, that's fine. This is in the options API. So let's do refs. Composition API. I want this. Ref.value. Not quite there. Let me see. Vue 3 template refs, yeah. But it's not, yeah, the composition API. This is what I want. Let's see, my ref is P. Okay. I want to actually grab the ref. Root.value. So this is weird. It should be, that value should give me the DOM node. If I click on that, I should get the DOM node. Okay. Get context. Oh, shoot. That's right. We still have this paint canvas thing going on. We need to get rid of that. Okay, maybe that was the problem. So now that we have the DOM node, this should work, right? Refresh that. Generate the button. Oh my gosh, it worked. Ha! It actually worked. I cannot believe that actually worked. That is so cool. Okay, cool. We're generating images. Okay, let's change this up a bit. So, yeah, that was a library. There's this HTML to image library that I'm using that seems to work to do the trick. And yeah, I was like, I could probably build this, especially if I'm using Canvas, but man, that would have been a lot. So I'm glad, you know, in this project is about getting it done. So the cool thing about this is we don't have that jank anymore, and it's like working really well. I mean, you know, besides my overlapping things here. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to refactor some of this. I'm going to take out this generate button. I'm going to go back to my app, and in my app, I'm actually going to add that button. So this, I want it to be a V button, just for consistency's sake. And then the generate function, I need to pull this out. I think that means Should I leave this canvas stuff in here? That's kind of a real question. I'm not sure. So we need to create the function up here, generate image, and then we need to pull to JPEG out of this. Get rid of that library. Can hit save. Library calls, I think, go at the top. Say to PNG, to JPEG, to blob. We definitely won't need to blob or pixel data. I might keep PNG and SVG just because it's, we'll just get rid of it for now. Don't need that. Eventually, maybe we want to generate or let people generate SVGs. So let's do that. Okay, last thing I need is I need to actually create the ref here. So we're going to take this, move it out of here. This no longer needs any of these things from Vue. It's just going to be a dumb component that kind of hangs out. We're going to keep that ref. We're going to have some data. We're going to generate the preview here. So preview ref. Okay, and then down here, I think we no longer need this ref here. We can leave the styles as they are. We can leave the wrapping div, although we don't really, well, let's get rid of that wrapping div. So at the end of the day, we just have this one div. No, two divs, one div, because I'm going to pull this avatar up and out. Avatar is going to come up here under the app preview. Code for the avatar or styles for the avatar is going to come out and up into my app. So we're going to say style. So a little bit of refactoring going on here. And then my ref should be on this app preview. So we're going to refactor this a little bit to look a little nicer. I'm going to say ref is going to equal, my preview ref. The width and height props will be passed in. The class is going to be defined here. And then we can actually just kind of close that. We don't need anything inside of it. So that's that component. I think with that, yeah, we kind of have things in place. My little avatar is like totally off. But what? Oh shoot, that actually was in the right spot. Let's see. Generate banner is going to have some issues because computed styles on window parameter 1 is not of type element. Once again, facing that same issue. Let's see. Console log that value. And we should get a DOM node. Generate banner is a proxy with the... Okay. That's a problem. That is a problem. Okay. Let's see if I can do it a different way and say your ID is going to be preview. Yep. Okay, I see what I was doing wrong. ID is going to be preview. When I click that button, instead of using the ref, we're going to say, let's see, preview. I'm going to say const preview equals document dot get element by ID preview. See if everything works. Generate banner. Cool. We are generating the image. That's fine. My image name. We'll have to fix that at some point. For now, we're going to call that Battle Banner. Okay, let's tackle this quick little accessibility. Well, no, let's tackle some of this layout stuff really quick. So originally, this app preview was a div with other stuff in it. So because now it's just that sort of preview div, I can actually fix that by making it the div, moving the class that was originally on the wrapper back to this wrapper, and then moving this avatar inside of that preview. So that's like the preview column. There it is. Excellent. I don't know what's going on with that icon. So let's see what's up there. We've got our div with the avatar. App SVG is going to be undefined. That's the problem there. We'll bring in the app SVG from our other components. Now that should be fixed. Hopefully. Or I just break everything. Oh, because, yeah, it's not in utensils. It's in my app components. So that should be fixed. There we go. There's my avatar. I don't know why I've got this submit button now. But that's fine. And then generate banner generates my little banner. Oh man, this is so cool. Right. So this accessibility issue, if I hit cancel, no, I think we're fine with that because we don't actually focus on the link that we create. We just click it. So cool. Man, this is going along really well. Yeah, that HTML to image library is really what sort of brought this together. So now I've got an interesting issue. Do I want these images to scale? I don't know. But we are at time, so that's as far as we're going to go today, I think. Anyone have questions or comments about this? What we did? I think it's pretty cool. We're generating this battle scene builder. I'm really tempted to just start adding some of these other artifacts. This will be exciting. So I think with the style, we're gonna have to go with like something like this. These styles. That'll be fun. Oops. So yeah, any comments or thoughts or questions? Oh yeah, Fimian. I gotta head back over there too. I need to start getting on, like, instead of doing daily 1 hour, I think I'm gonna start doing longer streams fewer days a week, because sometimes I just hit a groove and then get lost on it. But yeah, I'll probably raid Fimian or Alex before I go. So, oops. Oh no, I just closed it. Localhost 3000. This is so cool. This is so cool. This is like exactly what I wanted. Because now what I have, this is the Twitter stuff, right? I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing something really quick. Let's go to social media banner sizes. I can't do an hour and get nothing done. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. So 820 by 3. I don't even know if these are still accurate, but 820 by 3. I think I'm just going to do like common sizes. So let's get into our app. keep going for just a little bit here and say, what do I want? I want const common sizes is going to equal an array. Okay, this is sort of helpful. Thanks. 12 by 600. This might get kind of tricky. No. I think this should be fine. I don't want this to be an array, actually. I'm going to have this be a map. New map, because I like working with maps. And we're going to say, yeah, small width of that, medium, large, extra large. Sure, good enough. And then let's go to our form here. And we're going to have to do something a little bit different here. Well, let's just start with this. We're going to do a div with, yeah, margin bottom 16. We're going to get rid of that button. We're going to close that div. And then we're going to do a, oh, that's right. Vinput should be able to handle this, all right. Just going to start with HTML for now. Select and options. And I'm going to do a loop here to say v4 equals option in common sizes. What I actually want to do here is, before I do that, make sure I can do this and say get a pre-tag. No. Do a div tag. I don't know, just paste that. Paste that, change that to a div. Div. And then inside of that div, we're going to do the pre-tag with the option. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, cool. So I can loop over each one, and then I'll get the key and the value. That's awesome. And then we'll say, so this select, we're going to loop over each one and say that the value, let's see, this is going to be, because that is an array, we can destructure the array. Ah, killed my keyboard. Come back to life. Thank you. We can destructure the array and say that we've got a key and the values, and those are going to come from the key and the values. And bum 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 bum. So there's a couple ways I can do this, but I'm going to take this values. I'm going to set the value to be the key. So we have the key name. Whenever we loop in v4, we want to add a key attribute to set that as a unique value. And then I think at change, I want to set this to log and just see. Log should be a defined function. No. Okay. Const log equals console log. Look at our code. And let's see, if I change this, not getting much in there. That's because I don't have anything inside. So inside of the option tag, there should be the key. Now I do see medium, large. Unfortunately, I can't add the event listener here. I don't think. Input, maybe? Nope. Undefined setting dirty. Right, dirty. That's because this needs a name. Name is, what is it? Presets. Okay. If I change this, I'm not going to trigger anything. That's too bad. Well, that's because these events don't fire on the option. So I need to set this from here, which means I'm not going to use the values. So I don't need the values. Actually, I will take the value. No, I won't take the value. We'll just change this to like small, medium, large, extra large. Okay, and with those, what we can do is, as this select changes, that change is going to equal select preset. All right, so now we've got these values. We've got the logic related to generating the images stays together. Yep. This logic I'm just going to move down because I don't know what I'm doing with that. And the logic for selecting presets is going to go down here. So function select preset is going to take a key. We're going to say common sizes is actually going to be presets. And then when we select a preset, yep, perfect. We're going to say the preset is going to be presets.get. The key should get us one of these. If we have that preset, then data.width equals preset.width and data.height equals preset.height. Perfect. So now we've got our presets. Let's go medium. It's not actually doing anything. So, okay, the only thing I need to do now then is see. That's because we're not getting a key. We're getting an event. And the key is going to equal event target.value. Now, if I got this right, oh, check that out. We've got presets. That's so cool. Okay, we'll add the preset values tomorrow. And I'm excited. This is turning out to be so cool. Okay, that's it for today. We've got our Pokemon scene generator in place. And yeah, I'm going to push this code up, and I will be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Follows are much appreciated. Shares are much appreciated. And let me know if you have questions or other stuff that you'd be interested in watching me build. In the meantime, this is going to be, this is going to be going. Look at that. I can save that. And if I open that, there it is, my little tiny things and my battle. It's great. I love it. Soon we'll continue it even more. That's it for today. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, where we will continue with some Vue, some Pokemons, and some other cool stuff. All right, I'll catch you later. Oh wait, no, that's right. Gotta go and what is it? Raid someone. I need to raid someone. Here we come, Vimian. Booyah!